Why forgetting the Bodhi mind turns virtuous deeds into demonic karma.
The Avatamsaka Sutra contains a profound warning. Forgetting the Bodhi mind, practicing virtuous deeds, is called demonic karma. This statement may seem counterintuitive at first. How could virtuous actions result in something as negative as demonic karma? However, this teaching highlights a fundamental truth about Buddhist practice. The motivation behind an action determines its true value and potential for leading to liberation. Without the guiding light of Bodhi mind, even seemingly virtuous deeds can lead practitioners astray, trapping them in the endless cycle of birth and death. Bodhi mind, or Bodhicitta, refers to the aspiration to attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. It is the compass that ensures all spiritual efforts are directed toward liberation and the ultimate goal of Buddhahood. Forgetting this aspiration, or failing to cultivate it at all, renders virtuous actions self-centered and limited in their transformative potential. When virtuous deeds are performed with the goal of achieving personal rewards, such as wealth, comfort, or favorable rebirths, they remain tied to the cycle of samsara. While these actions generate positive karma, their focus on worldly outcomes perpetuates attachment and delusion. When virtuous deeds are motivated by attachment, they lead to a cyclical pattern of effort and decline. In the first life, the practitioner may diligently perform good deeds, seeking rewards like happiness or material gain. These efforts generate positive karma, resulting in a favorable rebirth in the second life. However, upon enjoying the fruits of their good karma, the individual often becomes complacent and indulgent, losing the discipline and urgency to continue their spiritual practice. This state of spiritual stagnation leads to the accumulation of negative karma, which manifests in the third life as suffering or rebirth in lower realms. Struggling in adverse circumstances, the individual may eventually feel remorse and begin practicing virtue again. But without Bodhi mind, the cycle of merit, reward, decline, and suffering continues indefinitely. This pattern explains why virtuous deeds performed without Bodhi mind are likened to demonic karma. The term does not imply literal evil or malevolence. Rather, it reflects actions that, despite their outward virtue, perpetuate delusion and attachment. Such actions fail to lead practitioners toward liberation and instead keep them bound within samsara's endless loop of pleasure and pain. The antidote to this vicious cycle is the cultivation of Bodhi mind. This selfless aspiration transforms virtuous deeds from mere karma-generating acts into steps on the path to enlightenment. By dedicating all actions to the attainment of Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings, practitioners align their efforts with wisdom and compassion. This redirection ensures that their practice is not only virtuous, but also purposeful, breaking free from samsaric entanglements and progressing toward the ultimate goal. The role of Bodhi mind is further emphasized in the teachings that caution against complacency. Without a higher, selfless goal, practitioners risk becoming attached to temporary rewards and losing sight of the impermanence and unreliability of worldly pleasures. A virtuous act performed with Bodhi mind, however, is infused with both compassion and wisdom, transcending attachment to results and preventing spiritual stagnation. In Buddhist practice, the key to avoiding the trap of demonic karma is clarity of purpose. Setting the aspiration for enlightenment as the foundation ensures that all efforts, no matter how small, contribute to ultimate liberation. As the sutra concludes, to learn the path of the Tathagata, one must first generate the vows of a bodhisattva. This underscores the necessity of Bodhi, mind, not just as a motivational force, but as the very essence of the Buddhist path. By anchoring all actions in Bodhi mind, practitioners can avoid the pitfalls of self-centered aspirations and ensure that their spiritual practice leads to genuine liberation. This alignment transforms virtuous deeds into the path of enlightenment, preventing them from devolving into acts that merely perpetuate the suffering of samsara. Bodhi mind, therefore, is not merely an aspiration, it is the guiding principle that illuminates the entire journey toward awakening.
How setting goals helps us break through self-imposed limits.
In the Buddhist tradition, setting a clear goal is a foundational practice that cultivates focus, determination, and the capacity to transcend our self-imposed limitations. The ancient sages emphasized the importance of generating the aspiration for enlightenment, or Bodhi mind, and recognized three key benefits of having a goal. 1. Consolidating efforts. Having a clear goal provides a reservoir for our efforts. For example, in the practice of reciting the Buddha's name, most practitioners cannot chant continuously throughout the day. Instead, they may dedicate specific intervals, such as 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. Without a goal, these efforts remain fragmented and lack cohesion, like scattered rainwater that fails to accumulate into a reservoir. However, when a practitioner is guided by a clear objective, their intermittent efforts are channeled and consolidated. This unification of effort ensures that every moment of practice builds upon the last, creating a steady accumulation of merit and focus. 2. Generating motivation. Goals serve as powerful motivators. In any practice, whether it be meditation, chanting, or acts of compassion, the intensity and sincerity of effort depend on the practitioner's internal drive. When a person sets a goal, it provides a sense of purpose that fuels their actions. Without this purpose, efforts may lack energy and direction, leading to lukewarm or inconsistent practice. 3. Breaking through self-imposed limits. Perhaps the most transformative aspect of setting goals is their ability to help practitioners overcome self-imposed limitations. People are often trapped by the mental constraints of their past experiences and habitual thinking. This self-limiting mindset leads to beliefs like, "This is just who I am," or "I can't change." Setting a goal challenges these notions by inspiring a forward-looking perspective and an openness to growth. A well-known parable illustrates this point. A hunter raised a young eagle among chickens to save costs, and over time, the eagle began to believe it was a chicken. It mimicked the chicken's actions and sounds, convinced that its identity was no different. When the eagle matured, the hunter attempted to train it to fly, but the eagle resisted, clinging to its belief that it was a chicken. Despite repeated attempts, the eagle failed to spread its wings, not due to a lack of ability, but because of its deeply ingrained self-concept. Disheartened, the hunter took the eagle to a mountaintop and released it, forcing it into freefall. As it plummeted, faced with the threat of death, the eagle instinctively spread its powerful wings and soared, rediscovering its true nature. The hunter's persistence and the life-threatening challenge broke through the eagle's self-imposed limitations, allowing it to fulfill its potential. This parable mirrors our own struggles. Without a goal, we remain tethered to our past and bound by the habits and assumptions we have internalized. A goal disrupts these patterns by challenging us to envision and strive for a version of ourselves that transcends current limitations. Let's now discuss the role of vows and commitments. In the Buddhist context, vows such as the Bodhisattva precepts play a critical role in fostering this transformative process. These vows, such as sentient beings are innumerable, I vow to save them, and afflictions are inexhaustible, I vow to extinguish them, set ambitious goals that prevent practitioners from succumbing to complacency. Receiving these precepts creates an internal framework, or vow body, that provides continuous guidance and accountability. Importantly, these vows discourage self-defeating attitudes. For instance, a practitioner cannot say, "I can't do this." Instead, they are encouraged to adopt the mindset, "I will work on this, step by step." This shift in perspective nurtures patience and perseverance while avoiding the pitfalls of resignation. The process of setting goals also helps dismantle the narrative of immutability that many people hold about themselves. Statements like, "I've always been this way," or "I'll never change," are mental barriers that solidify the belief in an unchanging self. To overcome this, one must adopt the mindset of gradual improvement. I may not change immediately, but I will improve step by step. This attitude aligns with the Buddhist emphasis on continuous effort and the potential for transformation. Ultimately, setting a goal serves as a guiding light for the spiritual journey. Without a goal, one may wander aimlessly, lacking the direction and focus needed to progress. A clear objective provides a reference point for evaluating one's actions and decisions, ensuring that every step taken is purposeful and aligned with the desired outcome. In summary, setting a goal helps practitioners break through self-imposed limitations by consolidating efforts, generating motivation, and challenging habitual constraints. By anchoring their practice in aspirations for enlightenment and compassion, practitioners can transcend their current limitations and move steadily toward liberation. With a clear goal, every moment becomes an opportunity for growth and transformation. Thank you for joining me on this journey into Buddhist wisdom. I hope this video brought some insight and reflection to your path. If it resonated with you, please consider subscribing, liking, or leaving a comment to share your thoughts. Stay tuned for our next exploration together as we dive deeper into these teachings. Until then, may you find peace, clarity, and compassion in every step. See you soon.